Honorable Minister for Renewable and Alternative Energy, Dr. Farooq Abdullah ji, Ambassador Madanjeeth Singh, Professor Gaurav, Professor Reno Gopalakrishna, I call him just Reno, Professor Joydeep Datta, very distinguished delegates from all over the world and from India, members of the press, my own colleagues. Normally, once the chief guest speaks, nobody speaks. I broke the protocol. I decided to speak because I thought I wanted to hear our Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable Minister, Government of India, and then summarize. Because I was keeping my fingers crossed until he announced that he is going to support this fully, the institution. It's a strategy, you can call it. Sir, I must very briefly say how it all started. The past 3 years, we have been setting targets for our own selves, fixing milestones, reaching before we are expected to reach. Quite often, we set a target of 1 year, we reach the place in 6 months. It so happened that we finished most of our initial developmental activities in less than 3 years, what we were expected to finish in 5 years. Then I thought that this is the time I should now travel across the world, meet people of eminence, get ideas, and see what I can do to consolidate the resources and the human resource we have in the Pondicherry University. In my travel, I happened to meet Professor Reno Gopalakrishnan in the Northeast. I briefly mentioned to him about my intentions to set up, because he also works in the Northeast as well as in Harvard. In Northeast, he works in a Center for Nanoscience and Technology. And I just briefly mentioned to him that I'm starting a Center for Nanoscience and Technology, and I'm interested to put my hand into the green energy technologies. The whole idea was that the country is actually is at crossroads, I must say that. It's expanding at a very fast rate, 8% growth, expected to reach 9% in the next 2 years as per our planners. A huge energy demand, a huge investment flowing into the country in various industries, including the green energy production, solar energy and the wind energy and the various other energy resources. At this juncture, when the energy demand is going to be 4 times what we have in the just coming 10 years, the universities by themselves cannot live as islands of isolation. Universities in India have a big role to play to contribute to the nation's development, not just by producing pure scientists, but proactively take to such areas which demand nation's attention. As our minister rightly put it, that there are 2 challenges which the country faces anywhere, and so is our country. When a huge industry is going to come up in the area of green energy technologies and green energy production, the essential concern will be, do we have the adequate human resource to manage this? And then do we have a strong research support which is going to sustain such an industry? This is the basic requirement of any planning. I'm sure all of you agree, because as experts. So therefore, the universities need to proactively participate into this and facilitate the government Government is always willing to spend money. I think in the country there is no dearth of money for research. But government also looks for places, the right place where it shall invest money. It is therefore it becomes our job that we go to the government with a meaningful project and a proposal and say that here we are here, that we have the strengths. So that is why I call it as it's at crossroads. Because we need to plan our, not only the industry, but at the same time plan our human resource, at the same time develop a very strong research base in the country. So I went round. So one of the persons, a very mercurial person I encountered was Professor Renewable. He immediately jumped at the idea and said, yes, we can go ahead. I later on found that there were many things common between him and me. Both of us are short-tempered, very mercurial. I am not that. He runs faster. I thought I am the fastest running man. I failed because he runs faster than me. He calls me in the midnight. He calls me at 3 o'clock in the night, 2 o'clock in the night, early morning, and actually for the past 3 months, he never made me sleep. The net result is very happy occasion, that today's conference. If he had not driven this way, he not only made my life miserable, I'm sure he must have made many of the scientists who are participating, their also life quite difficult. He must have been calling you all the time, night and day. That is Professor Venugopal. And we need people like him if institutions are to be built. If institutions are to be built, we need such people. We don't need people who sleep. Now friends, that day has come. I'm sure the Pondicherry University has many new things. It's the fastest growing university in India today. It has expanded 300% in just 3 years in terms of its infrastructure, student strength, faculty, and several other facilities. And it is aiming to be, by the end of the 2 years, it will be 400% growth, and hence it is going to be the fastest. The Pondicherry University has its own, has set in a tradition of openness. Pondicherry University today doesn't believe in conservative, old, outdated rules and regulations. If the rule doesn't permit, we decide to change the rule. Sir. That is the way we have worked, sir. You may remember, sir, if in Kashmir University when I was the Vice Chancellor, I changed the entire PhD rules. I said, scrap the statutes, make the new ones, if it's coming in the way of education. We did the same thing here. Today in Pondicherry University, any professor in any part of the world can be a supervisor to the Pondicherry University. And any student, this is my new regulation, any student working anywhere in the world can still get a PhD from Pondicherry University. The second thing is, we have opened up the doors for a free visit of the professors, teachers to come to Pondicherry University at any point of their convenience, stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, even 6 months, up to 2 years. You will be treated as a professor here. If, as assured by our Honorable Minister, if this ambitious project goes through his government, which of course it's not a very big sum and also not a very small sum, 75 crores. Sir, if you give it, I promise that I will make this as the best institution in the country and perhaps one of the best in the world. If this goes through, the distinguished guests whom we have selectively invited are the promising participants of future. Sir, today, see the difference between the other workshops and these workshops is, today people are not coming here to see Pondicherry. They are all the people who are going to be associated with this institute for next at least 5 years, including promise of Venugopal. He says he is always available, and all the professors who are here are available, they will come and teach. And if these things go through, the university will take care of your travel, the university will take care of your stay, university will take care of, as far as my finance officer is nodding his head, that means he has agreed. If he agrees, I have no problems. Sir, I just must make a mention. I am not able to read. I know outstanding scientists from the country have come, and a few who have come outside. I must read their names to personally acknowledge my gratefulness to them. Alexander Gorlov, you have already met. Dr. Sanjeev Mukherjee is here. Then Dr. Gerald Audit is here. Nengyu Wu is here from China. Horniak is from Colorado. Shivram Marapalli from Korea. And Kalyana Sundaram from Switzerland. Renu Mudagopal from Harvard, and the Southeastern Vitana Sripala from Sri Lanka, and Somasundaram from Columbia University, Joy Deep from Bangkok, and Kannan from Arizona State University, and Professor Surendra Saxena, one of the senior most. He knows me 30 years ago, and we have read his books always, and he is here. Sir, I welcome all of you. From the bottom of my heart. There may be some inconveniences, but please put up, and please enjoy. The people of Pondicherry are very hospitable. I am myself not from Pondicherry. I am also enjoying their hospitality. So with this brief remarks, I thank and congratulate my colleagues who have made this a great success. Particular thanks to Venugopal and Renu Venugopal, who made this a success by helping me to identify the right people to come. In fact, he had a much bigger list, but for the financial constraint, because our ambassador Madanjeeth Singh, he came forward to say, Tareen, go ahead, I will fund the conference to the extent possible, and he has done it. So I have been able to invite. I know if I had enough money, I wanted to call all of you by business class, but my hands were tied. You must excuse me for this. So thank you very much, and please stay back and enjoy and make this success. One thing I'm looking for is the syllabus and the curriculum of these two courses, namely MTech. MTech in Nanotechnology and Sciences, MTech in Green Technology. And I think this is the first school in the country going this way. And they have been circulated to all the participants, and my colleagues will be approaching you. Please feel free and give your input so that these syllabus are made perfect, and I always welcome you to this university at any convenient time of yours to visit and teach. Thank you very much, sirs, all of you.